The Xylos Nebula was a cosmic wound, a swirling vortex of ionized gas and lethal radiation, painted across the void in hues of violent crimson and sickly green. For millennia, every sentient species in the charted sectors of the Milky Way had observed it from a respectful distance, its dangers documented and reiterated in countless academic papers and cautionary tales. Which of course was precisely why the human vessel, the Dauntless, was currently threading its way through its treacherous heart. Captain Rhys, a man whose weathered face and steely gray eyes spoke of countless journeys into the uncharted, adjusted the gain on the forward sensors. Beside him, Commander Jian, his second-in-commander and a man whose analytical mind provided a necessary counterpoint to Rhys's impulsiveness, meticulously reviewed the fluctuating energy readings. "Still can't make heads or tails of those anomalies, Captain," Jian said, his voice calm even amidst the cacophony of warning klaxons triggered by stray radiation bursts. "Energy signatures are unlike anything in the databanks, almost organic, yet radiating on a scale that shouldn't be possible." Rhys grinned, a flash of something wild and exhilarated in his eyes. "That's the point, Jian. If it was something we already understood, what'd be the fun in it?" Their mission, like many human endeavors in the galactic landscape, was met with a mixture of bewilderment and apprehension by other civilizations. For millennia, the dominant species, the pragmatic krill, the philosophical Varkos, the technologically advanced Sylvans, had diligently mapped the habitable zones, catalogued the stable trade routes, and established a comfortable equilibrium. Exploration, in their view, was a task largely completed. The dangers outweighed the potential rewards. Why risk the lives of your crew and the integrity of your vassals delving into places that offered no clear benefit? The humans, however, asked a different question. Why not? Emerging onto the galactic scene a mere few centuries prior, they possessed an almost embarrassing lack of history compared to the ancient powers. But what they lacked in age, they more than made up for in an insatiable curiosity, a relentless urge to peel back the layers of the universe and see what lay beneath. Where others saw risk, humans saw potential. Where others saw dead ends, humans saw puzzles waiting to be solved. This drive had already yielded remarkable results. They had pioneered faster-than-light drives that pushed the boundaries of known physics, allowing them to navigate the vast interstellar distances with unprecedented speed. They had deciphered ancient languages and rediscovered lost technologies dismissed as myths by older races. But their eagerness also bred friction. "Captain, we're approaching the source of the strongest energy fluctuations," Eris, the young, enthusiastic astrophysicist manning the science station, announced, his voice tight with excitement. It's like a localized distortion of space-time, but gentler, more fluid." The main view screen flickered, resolving into a breathtaking, terrifying sight. At the heart of the nebula, a swirling vortex of pure energy pulsed with an inner light. It wasn't chaotic destruction, but rather a mesmerizing dance of colors, a symphony of unseen forces. "Magnificent," Rhys breathed, his usual bravado momentarily subdued by awe. "Magnificent and potentially lethal," Jian countered, his gaze fixed on the sensor readings. "The radiation levels are spiking. We're pushing the Dauntless's shielding to its limit." "Just a little closer," Rhys insisted, his fingers hovering over the helm controls. "I want to see what's at the center." Their audacity, this unwavering need to understand, even in the face of danger, was what set them apart. The krill, for instance, would have observed this phenomenon from a safe distance, logged its existence, and moved on. The Varkos would have debated its philosophical implications for centuries without ever venturing close enough to gather empirical data. As the Dauntless edged closer, a voice crackled over the comms, crisp and authoritative, tinged with a barely concealed disdain. "Unidentified vessel, you are trespassing in krill-protected space. Identify yourself and state your intentions immediately." Rhys sighed inwardly. The krill. They had staked their claim on vast swaths of space, often based on centuries, older treaties or nebulous concepts of historical significance. The Xylus Nebula, despite its obvious dangers and lack of exploitable resources, fell under their protection. Krill vessel, this is the human exploratory vessel Dauntless, captained by Rhys. We are conducting scientific research. Research? The Krill voice was laced with skepticism. This region is clearly marked as hazardous. Your presence is a violation and an act of unnecessary risk. Respect, Commander, Rhys replied, his tone carefully neutral. The pursuit of knowledge is never unnecessary. We believe this phenomenon warrants closer investigation. Ignorance is sometimes a virtue, human, the Krill voice retorted. Some mysteries are best left undisturbed. This was the core of the conflict. The established powers, comfortable in their well-defined understanding of the galaxy, viewed humanity's relentless curiosity as a disruptive force, a chaotic element that threatened the delicate balance they had maintained for eons. They had built their empires on the known, on predictability. Humans, with their constant probing and questioning, threatened to unravel it all. Ignoring the increasingly insistent demands from the Krill vessel, Rhys focused on the readings emanating from the energy vortex. Eris was practically vibrating with excitement, his fingers flying across the console. "Captain, I am detecting a pattern within the energy fluctuations. It's complex, almost like a language." "A language?" Gian frowned. "You think it's sentient?" "I can't be certain, but the complexity, it's unlike any natural energy phenomenon I've ever encountered." Rhys made a decision. "Open a channel. Let's see if we can get a response." Gian hesitated. "Captain, are you sure? The Krill are practically breathing down our necks." "You'll have to wait," Rhys said, his gaze fixed on the swirling energy. "This is more important." Aris worked feverishly, configuring the comm system to broadcast a series of mathematical primes, a universal language understood by most spacefaring civilizations. A tense silence filled the bridge, broken only by the hum of the ship's engines and the crackle of static. Then, slowly, tentatively, the energy vortex responded. The swirling colors shifted, coalescing into distinct patterns, mirroring the mathematical sequence Eris had transmitted. A collective gasp went through the bridge crew. They were witnessing something unprecedented, something that defied the established understanding of the universe. The Krill vessel, observing the interaction, fell silent, its earlier threats replaced by an almost palpable confusion. Their rigid protocols and cautious approach had prevented them from even considering the possibility of communication with such a phenomenon. "By the celestial bodies," Chien murmured, his usual composure shaken. "They said some mysteries are best left undisturbed," Rhys said, a wry smile playing on his lips. "But where's the fun in that?" The Krill eventually ordered the Dauntless to cease communication and withdraw, but the encounter had already shifted something. They had witnessed firsthand the potential rewards of human recklessness, the discoveries that lay hidden behind the veil of perceived danger. As the Dauntless retreated from the Xylos Nebula, leaving behind the bewildered Krill patrol, Rhys looked out at the swirling cosmic dust. He knew this was just the beginning. There were countless other nebulae, uncharted regions, phenomena deemed too illogical or risky by the older races. And humans, with their unquenchable thirst for knowledge and their willingness to leap into the unknown, would be there to explore them. Their actions would undoubtedly continue to ruffle feathers, to challenge the established order, but for every conflict there would be a discovery, for every risk a potential breakthrough. Humanity's reckless curiosity was not just a quirk, but a driving force, a spark that was beginning to ignite new possibilities in a galaxy that had grown complacent in its own knowledge. The unknown beckoned, and the humans, with their characteristic blend of audacity and ingenuity, were answering the call.